In my 3 years as a curriculum coordinator, I've overseen roughly 3,200 assessment items in grades 2 through 5, and some trends quickly emerged. Most notably, students are not making good sense of word problems. Here's a prime example. Jana bought 1 hat and 2 skirts. It says so right there in the first sentence, and yet 36% of the students in my district found the cost of 1 hat and 1 skirt. Conferences like this are a great place to come together and tackle these issues, but the last thing teachers want is to go back and have one more thing added to a plate full of meetings, responsibilities, and I'm pretty sure teaching is on there somewhere. So instead of going back and doing one more thing, what if I told you you could go back and do less? 3 less things. Less problems, less words, and less numbers. A little break to breathe. So let's start with less problems. And this might seem counterintuitive. I've got kids who can't find the cost of 3 items in a shopping basket. So don't they need more problems? Don't they need more practice? And here's the issue with that. They end up getting worksheets like this, or worse, packets of worksheets like this, where you are cramming problems on a page like sardines, and you are crowding out space for student thinking. And really what we want is student thinking. And so what we need to do is give less problems so students have more space to write down their ideas. With less problems, they're going to have more time to share and talk about those ideas with one another. The second thing we need is less words. If students are not closely reading a problem like the 1 hat and 2 skirt problem, then why don't we reel it back a bit and make sense making the focus of our work? So here's another problem. This one is about the area of half of a sheet of paper. And in my district, 46% were able to figure it out. Half of the students found the area of the whole thing, or they might have had one too many times. So here's the problem with less words. The question is completely gone. And with the question gone, students are left to make sense of this situation, not knowing yet, what am I going to do with it? And so instead, I can focus on drawing, imagining, maybe getting a sheet of paper and let's cut it in half. We can do it horizontally, we can do it vertically. I could actually do it in a lot of ways, and that might actually be a lot of fun to explore. And now that I've made sense of the situation, fine, let's toss you a question. What is the area of each half? Well, I know the area of the whole thing is 4,500, and so half of that must just be half of 4,500. So the third thing that we need less of is numbers. And again, counterintuitive. If I don't have numbers, how do I have a math problem? Well, the trouble with numbers is that it causes students to plug and chug, and they just want to race to get to that answer. So here's an example of a problem that's really challenging for kids. It has comparative language. In my district, teachers or students were drawn equally to 2 answer choices. And it really came down to, did they understand why there was an extra 400 in the correct answer? So take those numbers out. And what do you have left? A situation about refrigerators and stoves. And actually, if I pay attention, there's a relationship here. They make more stoves per day than refrigerators. Oh, and now I have a number. There's 400 refrigerators per day. Okay, I know something. And actually, I know something about the stoves too because of that relationship. They make more stoves per day than refrigerators. So it must be more than 400. Well, this is confusing. It says 125. So does that mean that they make 125 stoves per day? Well, let me go back to my relationship. They make more stoves per day than refrigerators. That's a great conversation to have in your classroom with students. So now we've got a question. Now is the time for students to take that relationship, give them some time, and let them see what they can make sense of, and then come back together and talk about it. Teachers, you have a full plate. The last thing that you need is one more thing that you're supposed to do. So let's do 3 less things. Less problems, less words, and less numbers. And what we're going to get is we're going to get more evidence of student thinking, we're going to get more sense making, and we're going to get more understanding of critical relationships. So please, do less and then get more out of it. Thank you.